Hello. Today's video is going to be a little different because, well, basically, my day in the life of kind of videos that I normally do for my third chemo yesterday. I made the video. It told me I needed more storage to save the completed video fully. And for some reason I ended up deleting the videos that I was making the videos with, like, out completely off my phone. So all of the footage is now gone. So I'm just going to do a little vid explaining like what happened yesterday and how I'm feeling now. Yeah, as you can see, so I'm just looking at my phone. As you can see, my hair is still there, but definitely thinner. Definitely not as, if I go like this, for example, you can see like a big middle part in, more than a part in, it's like a big void. So yeah, that's on its way out. If you look at my Instagram story today, which is Scott Jamesdale on Instagram, you can see my hair in its entirety in the bath. I'll also put it in my video tomorrow as well. But yeah, so that's on its way out, and I braved using the clippers today on my beard because it was just so bottom heavy that it was making me feel really like not good. So I feel fresh now that I've got my beard cut too. But yeah, so yesterday then, I went to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on the bus, and my appointment was meant to be at 11 o'clock, and when I got there at about 5 to 11, I did my whole weighing process, etc, with the reception staff. I put on a kilo, which is, quite good after the first. Sorry, I'm just gonna look at my thing again, just because I keep getting notifications. Like I've done a month now of my sort of my first cycle is done. I've put on a kilo. The horror stories that I've heard is that it can get much worse than just a kilo. But I'm on a vegan whole foods diet, which I'll do a video about again, because I think it's really useful. Just to talk about that. I know a lot of people are, skeptical about vegan food or whatever it is, but it is really, for me, the way forward. But I got to the hospital, so I keep going off on tangents. I got to the hospital yesterday at 11 in Woolwich, and I was told that my chemo wasn't there, and that actually it had been booked in Lewisham. Now, as you can imagine, my mind was like working overdrive at that point. I was sweating because I just like rushed to get there from the bus. And I was just like, well, what am I going to do? Because it's 11 o'clock now. And they were like, actually, it's been changed. The time's been changed until 12. So like, not only had they not told me that my chemo was in Lewisham, they hadn't told me that the time had changed, which is a good thing in this instance, because it meant that I had time to get to Lewisham Hospital. By the way, Lewisham Hospital is literally across. If I walk down the end of my street and then down the end of the next one, it's across the road. So that's like ideal, and I actually requested to go to Lewisham, so that I didn't have to keep going and spending money to, I still have to go to see my consultant there at the Queen Elizabeth in Woolwich, but then all of my bloods and all of my chemo can be done at Lewisham, which is amazing because that means I can literally walk there and back. So I'm happy about that, but it's the fact that, I wasn't told that they'd made the change, and so I'd made a journey and then I had to make another one anyway. And I'd actually already decided that if they didn't make the change to Lewisham, that I was going to stay at the Woolwich anyway and not push it, just because I've been enjoying my time there. But I went to Lewisham. I got there. It's in a very different type of building. It's like a demountables kind of metal, like school buildings sometimes are when you need extra classrooms. And it's all like makeshift. And so it's like walking around a stadium when you get to it's in the pink zone. When it's like walking around a stadium, big wide corridors, and like feels drafty, no windows. So it's on the first floor, Suite 8. I got in there and it was like being in heaven. It was nice and wide. It was like loads of room. It is like I used this term before. It's like being in an old people's home almost, because all of the chairs face each other in a like semicircle. So yeah, it can be a bit intense. But the nurses were lovely. Abigail and Diane, really friendly, really talkative. Yeah, I had a really nice session there, so I'm really grateful. But I'm currently going to be in that bumpy ride, but I'm there now, and yeah, I'm happy. So the chemo went well. Difference at Lewisham was they didn't give me our saline drip. So like in Woolwich, I would take my pre-meds and then they'd link me up to saline and like give me a drip through an hour basically, so to flush the tablets that I've just taken through me quicker. They're anti-sickness, and so when she sort of gave me the tablets and then waited and then didn't link me up, I was like, oh my god, I'm not going to have like the fluids through me. But as always, I always drink 3 pints of water at least before I go. Yesterday, I drank 4. I drank 3 bottles of water, little mini bottles of water, when I was there, courtesy of my best friend Katie Taylor Highlands. Bought me a big lump, like, pack of them. And yeah, so I was a little bit concerned that I was going to feel nauseous, just because obviously, like, up until this point, I've had that hour-long drip, or flush, as they call it. So yeah, luckily, I didn't feel nauseous, and it was absolutely fine. The only problems there were, like, because it's made of tin, the building, it was boiling, everyone was asking for fans. There was, like, 1 fan between a few people. I was sweating, but I kind of, like to regulate my own body temperature, so I was, like, I was only in a t-shirt, and if I was, like, on the chair, then I would get sweaty and my back would get stuck to the leather chair that they, sit you on. But they were like, oh, do you want a fan? And I was like, no, I just, like, if I lean forward and, like, breathe a bit, then, like, I stop sweating. But there were people that really needed the fans, and so I did, like, my martyr tactic and gave everybody else the fans. And yeah, the other thing is the internet doesn't work. So my 4G wasn't working, so that's obviously a bit more of a problem for like entertainment purposes. But I don't generally tend to do much when I'm there. I kind of like just sitting there and enjoying what's going on around me, and having a nose about what everybody else is doing and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, I was in and out. They booked my bloods for the next one. I'm going to be at Lewisham again, and yeah, happy days. That's all I've got to do now. The side effects I had last night. I got home. I was quite tired actually when I got home. I don't know whether it's because I've been so warm in having the chemo, but I was really warm. I got home, was quite tired. And Will cooked a really lovely meal. But I had basically dry eyes that came on quite quickly as I got home. I had quite a significant headache, which I've been having on the day of chemo for the last twice that I've been as well. So that wasn't new. And yeah, it was just like a bit brain foggy. But other than that, I mean, like, I've just had chemotherapy. I've just had 4 drugs put through me, like horrible drugs that do all sorts, and save your life, of course. So like, you know, what am I going to complain about? Having some dry eyes and, you know, a bit of a headache. I've woken up this morning feeling like I've got nothing wrong with me and that I haven't had any chemotherapy at all. So, you know, I didn't even need to take my I didn't feel like I needed to take my domperidone sickness meds this morning. I did, obviously, but like, happy days. Like, I'm really grateful. So yeah, not an exciting video like normal of me traipsing around and getting sweaty and like being on the bus and travelling from hospital to hospital. But yeah, nothing really much to report other than oh yeah, my bloods are back working. I think I mentioned it before, but my bloods are back. So now I can do whatever I like, and they were actually really quite impressive too. I actually saw them yesterday, back into normal range. So yeah. a bit normal. You will see in tomorrow, in the video I post tomorrow, because obviously today's video I'm doing for yesterday. But I've woken up today and I'm quite regular on the loo, and I'm regular on the loo anyway. But since I've been on chemo, it's been slightly less. I haven't got any acid right now, which I'm usually struggling with at this point. But it's maybe because it's doing it the other way, if you know what I mean, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about. But yeah, thank you, everyone. I just want to say also, I've hit 100 subscribers. I think at this point I'm at 102. And I know that those people are from all around the world, and there are various people that are keeping updated. And so I just want to say thanks to everyone for keeping up to the speed with me. It, you know, means a lot to me in the sense that, you know, I've got people to play off, and people are commenting on things and stuff. But also because, like, you know, hopefully my, like, in-depth updates are helping people, and I know they are because people have already said to me. So yeah, thanks to everyone for sort of within a month getting me over 100 subs, and on quite a, you know, specific topic. It's not like you know, it's not like I'm singing, which is what I normally do. So yeah, thanks, and carry on watching, carry on subscribing. It, like, you know, keeps me motivated, and yeah, just really happy to keep sharing my my old journey, as the cliche says. But yeah, my Instagram also is Scott James Dale. So SCOTTJAMESDALE. I post more frequently on there, sort of random bits and bobs as well. So if you want to follow me on that, you can do. All right, thanks, and hope you're all having a lovely Thursday.